All right, everybody, welcome back to Uncut Never Filtered. We are back from Kentucky, and
we are back, baby. We are fucking back. We're back. Yeah. Classic.
Through hell and high water, we came back with a couple great bottles. What we have in front of us is the Buzzards Roost Single Barrel, a charity bottle, a dunk for a difference, 116 proof that we tried inside of their tasting room that they had in Louisville. So you want to stay tuned because we had a couple things in there other than this as well that are worth talking about, and a little stories from Kentucky to follow.
All right, guys, welcome back. Like Nick said, today we're getting into Buzzards Roost, fine sipping whiskeys. We found this at their tasting bar in Louisville, Kentucky on Whiskey Row. And funny enough, we were getting ready to walk by it. If you've seen one of our earlier Masterpiece videos, you saw our Bourbon Olympics where we had the Buzzards Roost French Oak, and that really put a bad taste in our mouths, so much that we were originally walking by the store. We said, you know what, screw it. We purposely walked by that place last year because of that bottle. We said we're going to go in and try it. And thankfully, we did. You saw some great people in there. Everyone working behind the counter was a phenomenal person, phenomenal human being. Whiskey experts on their product. I believe Buzzards Roost was introduced in 2022, and they're getting into distilling, blending, bottling, everything. And they had some unique staves they were showing us that are finished a certain way, toasted a certain way to help the aging process. Like Nick said, though, this is our Buzzards Roost single barrel. This is picked between them, a single barrel selection between Buzzards Roost and a nonprofit called KOBBE. KOBBE. It's probably why it's basketball themed. And this is a 60% corn, 36% rye, 4% malted barley, coming in at, what did we say, 116 proof. 116 proof barrel strength single barrel. So, that being said, let's get into the nose.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Woo, cheers. Man, just like I remember.
Yeah.
First pour and we're like, wow.
Look at that dark amber it has to it.
Beautiful.
Very dark liquid. Very, very dark liquid. And you could get it on the palate too. That flavor, that aroma comes through. I'm getting toffee, dark fruits, maybe currants.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very, very solid nose. This is a great nose.
Yeah, oaky. Very oaky.
It's sweet, it's subtle, it's got those rich, dark notes to it, like you said, the toffee and the fruit. But it's not like so in your face, like it smells sweet, it smells good. But you gotta dig in there.
Yeah, you know some bourbons you get, this is 116 proof. That's right in our, wheelhouse, but Louisville, right? Wheelhouse. Yeah. But man, it is great nose.
It is.
You ain't got to stir the pot much to get the notes off of this bottle.
Absolutely not. Let's go ahead and slam dunk that palate to your health.
Ooh, yeah. That's what I call a good bourbon. I got a little Kentucky hug.
Yeah, she's punching up past the 115.
Yeah.
116 for sure.
Yeah.
Taste the rye.
It's got those fruits pretty forward on the front.
Yeah.
Sweetness comes into the back end.
And I agree with you. I think there's a vanilla on the palate that goes through it. Yeah. Definitely. Man, that's good.
And that sweetness gives way to that, like you said.
Yeah.
Not the longest Kentucky hug, but she's a little bit fire. She's a little bit fire, burns a little bit in a good way.
Yeah.
That's a good bourbon. I mean, that's what we expected of a bourbon. Yeah.
But definitely, they gave us a sample of this when we first got in. I think his name was David. Walked us through their entire lineup and, led us to this. He's like, yeah, you guys need to sample this. We sampled it. And we're like, oh yes, we're all going in on the bottle there. So it's a channel bottle for sure. But I think this was around $96 prior to tax, so about $100. We was pitching $25. Definitely worth it. What are you getting on the palate there, Philip?
Mid palate, it tasted kind of fruity, and then for the back palate, tasted like an older bourbon. It tastes kind of like leathery, kind of maybe tobacco-y.
Good
In the
point.
Kentucky Hood.
Yeah. They showed us actually the inside of the staves when they're putting it in there to age it. It was almost looked like if you held it up horizontally, like a saw blade. You know, not a regular flat barrel stave. They're doing some crazy shit there, and they're toasting it as well before they pull it in to get these sort of colors, smells, tastes on the palate. So it's good stuff. But I agree with your notes 100%. And those are great notes after a hard day of laying pipe out there in the field.
That's right.
Yeah, Phil, you know, hey, or turning the sign to slow stop.
Laying and receiving.
Mine was
pipe.
not worse. I just want to put that out there.
And I mean, that was one of the best surprises of our whole trip, I believe.
It was.
Yeah.
You know.
I probably walked in there with the lowest expectations,
Yeah.
but we also tried. I think Eddie got there's a peated
Yes.
finish one, and it didn't taste like a Scotch. It wasn't a peat monster, but it was delicious. He said that's probably the closest thing they had to their cigar batch. They had a cigar rye that they sold out of. He said it was close. It was a delicious bottle. It's probably one of my. Every time you come home, you have regrets about, man, I let this bottle slip through my hands. I should have bought that peated one.
I agree.
But,
I should have bought it too.
there's definitely good things going on at that distillery. So.
Yeah.
Eddie knew that on his way out the door. He said, I just don't know what we're going to run into next. And he said, I can tell you right now, I'm going to regret that one when I get home.
Yeah. So cheers, Eddie.
Yep.
Yep, cheers, Eddie.
I tell you, it's crazy the amount of complexity and rich flavors off of this for a company that was started in 2022. That just goes to show that sometimes the legacy doesn't mean all. Anybody can come into the game and make a fantastic product. And it's cool to know that they're doing different things and seeing kind of what flavors come from that. You know, talking about the staves and the things like that.
It's almost like every sip, the more it gets air, it gets better.
Oh, it's
Your
really
palate
good.
adjusts to it.
I agree with you too, Phil. I mean, I think that on the back end of the palate, it's like those rich notes that you get off of a more aged bourbon. You know, to mesh that with the sweetness it has too I'm a big fan of
Pretty
it.
amazing.
And donate to charity. So you could anybody could buy this bottle and also feel good about drinking it.
Yep.
All right, let's score this thing.
Yep. Phil?
I like the complexity of it. It's complex, it's dark, it's rich, 116 proof. I would score it an 8.1 for sure.
Yeah. I like it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you, Phil. I was gonna say around 8 to the 8.2 range, and I think I'll agree with you, back you up on an 8.1. It is very good. And I think, just like I said before, taking in the age of this company, taking in that they're doing all these different things to try to elevate their bourbon, that they're doing a charity, and it still is not a bad product, right? It's a great product.
For me, this is a double oaked bourbon. I am not historically of the channel a fan of double oaked bourbon.
Here he goes.
I'm prepared to say that's the best double oaked bourbon I ever drank in my life. I'm going to give it a very good score today of 7.9. I enjoyed it a lot.
I'm just going to be flat out. You know, hey, I enjoyed the experience. I enjoyed the bourbon. I enjoyed the pleated. I enjoyed everything about this bourbon. An 8, solid 8. Man, what a great. I'm going to buy this bottle whenever I get a chance to again. We went in on it. We were sitting there and we were like, hey, we can't let this go. Even though we got many more distilleries, we don't know what we're going to find. But we just said, hey, we're just going to go into it, you know, as a channel bottle and go in together and review it, which I'm glad we did. But man, wouldn't it be nice to have one of them sitting on your shelf at home?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you heard it there. What do you guys think of the old Buzzards Roost? Have you had it before? What are your thoughts? We mistakenly poo-pooed it before our trip to Kentucky. It was we were a bunch of silly bitches. So we apologize to the good people of there. Very good bottle. If you could find anywhere for a sip at a bar, definitely worth that. I'd buy the bottle. And we'll see you next week with more tales from the trail. Until next time, cheers.
Cheers.